We've never been shy to confront the elephant in the room. In fact, we've made quite a few ripples over at our other channel, TA Targets in the night vision world, over the years. We are committed to the facts and our real experiences regardless of if the units that we discuss are trendy or not. While many people on the interwebs seem to trash on AGM and they write them off immediately, we decided to get our hands on the STINGIR 640 to shed light on this unit. And what we found might surprise you. Let's talk about the STINGIR 640. While researching new and upcoming units, our team will often turn to Facebook and forums to figure out what is trendy. We look for common variables and common themes. When we see brands that are constantly talked about, we dig deeper. Good or bad, we want to know what people are saying. This is especially true when we see a plethora of people who are trash talking a specific brand or a specific model of optic. We want to know, is the talk real? Is it biased? We need to find out. And AGM is a brand that is widely known, and from what we have read, they have people who support them, buy their products, and love what they've purchased. And then there's the crowd of people who slander AGM and tell anyone who is considering them to turn away. So the question is, which one is it? Our answer to that question is both. There are units from AGM that frankly, we probably will not offer on our site, but there are options like this STINGIR 640 that will most certainly make it onto our site and will be offered to our customers. We caution anybody about writing off an entire brand simply based off of hearsay on the internet. We found the same results by digging into Photonis. People like to misrepresent Photonis, slander their tubes, but the reality is their tubes are some of the best tubes available in the world for night vision. You remember growing up and our parents teaching us, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge the STINGIR 640 based solely off of Facebook and forum comments. And give it a minute, watch this full video, and I'm certain you will walk away impressed. That's enough of the housekeeping. Let's dive into the specs. The AGM STINGIR 640 is a thermal monocular that features a 640 by 480 core resolution. As you all know, 640 by 480 and better is typically our threshold for thermal, with a few 384 core exceptions that we have available on our site. Users can expect an extreme amount of detail and clarity from this unit that is nearly on par with all of the performance offered from the RH25 and the MH25. Included with the STINGIR are several different mounting solutions, which further adds to the value of this unit. This unit includes a hard case to hold itself and all of the included accessories safely. And users can utilize the included mounts to run this unit either helmet mounted, weapon mounted, or this unit can even be mounted directly to many scopes with the included adapter. One very important fact about the STINGIR is it is only rated for 223/5.56 NATO calibers in terms of recoil. This is not a unit for someone that is looking to use larger calibers. The compact design is extremely lightweight, much more compact, much more lightweight than the RH25, and it weighs in at only 7 ounces. Users can choose from multiple color palettes, which has become very standard for all high-performance thermal monoculars. The STINGIR features up to 8x digital zoom, a high-resolution display, and a high-sensitivity 12-micron sensor. The STINGIR 640 features a simple-to-use push-button interface, and it is powered by a single CR123A battery. Another added value is the battery extension housing that is included with each unit, and this battery housing allows users the ability to run the unit with one 18650 battery, which extends the runtime to approximately 5 hours. Runtime with a single CR123A battery is advertised at 2.5 hours. Base magnification is 1x, which is critical for helmet use, and the advertised detection range of this unit is 1200 meters for a human-sized target. Refresh rate is 50 Hz, and that refresh rate is critical, especially when sending rounds at moving creatures. The housing features a USB-C cable input, which can be used to export video to an external recorder, but can also be used to power the unit via an external power supply. This unit does not feature internal audio, video, or photo recording. An external power supply must be 5 volts DC, 2 amps, and 1.5 watts. Dimensions are approximately 5.5 inches long, 2 3/4 inches tall, and about 2 inches thick. It's easy to see why we were so intrigued by this potent little unit, because on paper, the specs are on par with our other favorite units in our lineup. But the real test is how this unit stacks up against our other favorite units in the wild. And also, we want to dive into how we mount this unit on our helmets and how you can utilize the included mounts and accessories that come with the STINGIR to make you more capable in the darkness.
Guys, I'm here for one reason. Let's do a deep dive on specs. Let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is a mount that we send with the STINGIR. We're going to send the Mod Armory dovetail adapter that is meant to work with the Mod Armory bridge with every single STINGIR that we ship out. The reason why we send this with is because we think this is the best and potentially most efficient way to utilize this optic. Although it does come with a whole host of other options that do provide great value, this is definitely the best if you plan to run a PVS 14 with the STINGIR. All that being said, this particular dovetail mount is screwed directly into the unit. So to transition between this and weapons mounted is not necessarily a QD option or quick disconnect. You have to have an Allen wrench with you, and you have to be able to unscrew this Allen screw to dismount and remount some of the other options. One of the first options that I think is the most useful option is the helmet mountable option that comes with the STINGIR. Obviously, it's made to go directly into a G24, and you can use that over your right eye or your left eye by sliding the mount opposite of each other. It's a very interesting concept, and it actually would work really well without utilizing the Mod Armory bridge. So if you want to get this helmet mounted and save a couple bucks for now before you buy the PVS 14, you can utilize this mount that comes with the STINGIR. The next mount in relevancy that I would say that you would and could use reliably would be the pigtail adapter that is meant to mount directly to the unit. So you would take this dovetail off, mount it directly to this adapter, and like this, you can either run this as a dedicated unit or you could run it as a clip-on. There is another option to run this weapons mounted, and that is this particular adapter here that's meant to clamp to the front of a scope. And ultimately, the way I perceive this is it might create value for somebody like an airsofter, but I would not want to try and get this to function on a real weapon like a 5.56 or anything that has any real recoil, because it just doesn't seem like it's going to hold zero. Clamp to the end of a scope. It could. I didn't try it. The other option, and the first thing that I do when I would get this unit out of the box, is I would switch out to the 18650 adapter. This particular adapter is going to allow you to run this unit for somewhere around 5 hours straight. The CR123 battery, although I didn't run one completely dead, it's advertised to run about 2.5 hours. I would guess that's an overstatement. I'm guessing probably an hour to maybe 2 tops. Just from my knowledge of other thermals on the market, they typically will only run with the CR123 for an hour. So to switch out to that particular mount, you want to take this off. It has a little rubber ring that is meant to keep that from falling off. You can take that off with it, install that adapter just like so. After installing the 18650 adapter, what you're doing is increasing your runtime to about 5 to 6 hours without having to switch a battery. This being said, if you have a second 18650 battery in your pocket, you could get the whole way through one entire night on 2 18650s. That seems to me like it could be very practical, seeing that an 18650 battery weighs almost nothing. Speaking of weight, the STINGIR weighs about 7 ounces. So if we want to compare this directly to an IRA unit, the RH25 weighs right around 13 ounces. So the RH25 is almost double the weight of the STINGIR. With that in mind, when you start mounting the RH25 with the PVS 14, what you're going to find is that weight starts to add up very quickly, and you will feel that via fatigue in your neck. If a big concern of yours is weight, the STINGIR will definitely be a solid option. Now, a lot of people are going to be curious on clarity of the units and how they would compare. I would say that the STINGIR offers slightly more value than the MH25 because it does have a reticle and you can run it on 5.56 weapons, but it's offering a little bit less ability than the RH25, but it does also have a much better price point. These are all things that need to be considered when considering this particular optic and whether it's going to work for you and what you need to do. And ultimately, that's a decision that you're going to need to make. Think about all the capabilities of this unit and others on the market and the price point, and then decide if this unit can work for you.
What makes a great thermal to us is simple. Does it have good resolution? Is it easy to use? Is the unit reliable? This really isn't rocket science to us. We simply want to make sure a unit works as it is advertised. We are not willing to listen to internet hype to sway our decisions. Ultimately, we will put our hands on a unit ourselves and determine if we like it or not. There's simply no other way. And companies and pages promoting this blanket slandering of products do their customers and our community a disservice. We judge units based on their features and their performance. We also desire to understand each business that offers units to us. And AGM has clearly stated to us that they know their place in the market. They won't necessarily be the best in all categories, but they are filling a role in the market and they are offering some quality products in their lineup. It's for this reason that we are offering the STINGIR 640 on our site. We are confident in the unit. We are confident we'll do everything our customers will ask of it to do. So the question is, how does it stack up against the RH25 and MH25? And the answer is, it is really close to the performance of the IRA 640 resolution units. They are clearer, but it's not substantial. We would argue that the screen display and quality of the STINGIR is actually a little better than the MH25, and the STINGIR can be weapon mounted, whereas the MH25 cannot. The STINGIR essentially offers arguably a little bit better performance than the MH25, a little less performance than the RH25, but a more compact package than the RH25. If performance is the most important thing you are considering, the RH25 might be a better option. If internal recording is important to you, the RH25 is probably a better option. Time will tell if the MH25 V2 will close the gap as well, and we will report on that as soon as we have one of the V2s in stock. Overall, we are very pleased with the STINGIR. We are pleasantly surprised by not only the quality of this unit, but also the conversations we have had with the owners of AGM. I really believe that people are misunderstanding what AGM is and what the company isn't. They are filling a role in the market with some great options. Will we stock everything from AGM? No. We will be selective, test each proposed unit, and then report back to you, our followers. Our objective is simply to provide options and information to you, and ultimately you will decide what is best for your end goals. If you found this video helpful, leave us a comment, like the video, and share. Please consider grabbing some gear off of our site. We will have a link in the description. We have everything from hoodies, like I'm wearing here, to sewn goods, to body armor and optics, like the STINGIR 640. We get you equipped so you can be more formidable. Check out our site, and please share this video with a friend. Stay tuned for more videos, more optics, and more gear. We have a lot of exciting content coming down the road. Monocular. As you own it. Jeez. Okay, Richard. Playing the pranks he's on me again with his stool. I forgot, you gotta give this stool heck.